Hello, everyone. Welcome to the moon phase reading for this particular moon phase. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to go over a little bit about the moon phase reading. I know I have quite a few new members onto the channel. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. This may be your first moon phase reading, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in depth so you can understand what this reading is all about. I'll be using the WildWood Tarot that I used a couple days ago, and I really enjoy this tarot deck, and it really felt like it wanted to be used today, and so that's what we're doing. Moon phase reading. What is it all about? So the moon phase reading is going to cover, maybe that's not the best spot for my tea. Let's move you over there. So the moon phase reading covers the period of time after this current new moon, and it covers the energy and the time frame from the ending of the new moon as we get into that period of waxing energy towards the full moon. So actually this reading will be about that time period and the full moon. The previous moon phase reading was for the time leading up to this new moon we're at now. If you want, maybe go back and look at it, see if it maybe fits the overall general energy of that time period for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about that previous reading as well before we get into this. The focus of the moon phase reading is what I like to call the magical weather. It is an overview kind of reading, a universal reading for all different manners and types of spirituality. It can help you look at things in a slightly different way. If you're just doing meditation, if you're doing a lot of inner work, maybe you're doing spiritual travel work or shamanism. Maybe you're doing a lot of practical magic or ceremonial magic, or maybe just prayer and manifestation. Any of those things, it helps us understand the subtle energies at work in the overarching time period as we build up to the full moon and what to kind of be aware of. So for instance, the last moon phase reading, we had a lot of major arcana. It was the World card, the Hanged Man, and the Wheel of Fortune, and the Five of Wands. And the general idea and the phrase I kept hearing over and over in my head was upside down in the middle. And it was about staying in the center and not letting yourself be pulled out into other energies and into other distractions. And that there was going to be maybe a little bit of not serious conflict, but competitive conflict, in a way to find your way in and amongst other energies. But by doing that, by staying in the center, this really played out for me over the past 2 weeks, especially as I was doing these daily readings that I've been doing, and then those memorial readings, and also moving into my summer energy. And it just made a lot of sense for me to stay upside down, just to be upside down in the middle and let that be. So I didn't push too hard on anything. I didn't try to force anything. It's just an example for me. It's a personal example. I've heard that the moon phase readings have there's similar effects or similar realizations amongst people, but it does affect at an individual level based on what sort of practice you follow. Okay. So if you have any more questions or any comments about this concept or this idea, please leave them down in the comment section. Let's go ahead and get into the reading. Like I said, I'm going to use the WildWood Tarot deck. I'll pull a few cards. I am tapping in right now, kind of getting a feel for, I think I do want to use pendulum. For some reason, for the moon phase reading, the pendulum really feels strong almost every time I do it. So we are going to pull a quick, I wasn't going to, and now I'm feeling like maybe we will. So we're going to pull a quick card with the pendulum, and we're going to see what happens. So again, this is the moon phase reading for the time period of this new moon, May 26th, from June 11th. What do we need to know about the magical weather report, about the energies and the effects that are going to be surrounding us and that we might be involved in things that might affect us. What is the thing we need to know? Give it a little bit of a bump of motion. We're in the general neighborhood here. I think I see it already, but we're going to go one more time. Yeah, it's this one right here. All right. So we will just pull one card with the pendulum, but this will be the major energy, the main message of this time period. I've also found that these moon phase readings have a nice overarching feel as we work through the daily readings. The daily readings are very much the nitty-gritty, the hour by hour, the day by day, literally, of this overarching energy over the next 2 weeks. All right, let's pull two more. Do something else here. That one. I just did this type of card reading, this type of card pull. And that one right there, that one right there, that one wants to come out. My eyes locked on that one. I just did that earlier today. I was messing with the cards and my finger flicked the top and a card came out and it was a perfect. So I thought it'd be fun. We'll see. This is the flicked card. This is the pendulum card. This is the card I pulled. So let's get an idea of what these subtle energies, this magical weather report is going to be like for the next 2 weeks. I'll also pull a punctuation card on this. If I need to, I'll pull another card. Oh, hello, the journey. This is the death card from the tarot. As we get ready for the new moon, understand that, we're going to look at the other two, but understand that there is a transformation happening. The energy is ripe for this transformation. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. So we have the sun again, another sun card. Sun has been around quite a bit in the daily readings, I feel. And the Queen of Stones. Some bear energy. Again, the WildWood coming through with its panoramic kind of qualities as the cards hook up. Okay. I'm going to play here for a minute, but this feels like this is the way this goes. So transformation, a shifting of a phase of life from one into the other, letting the old go, letting the past go, moving and letting yourself feel that transition, not rushing forward into it, and knowing that this transition is a transition of beauty and power and light and strength and joy and happiness. The sun of life, the Queen of Stones or the Queen of Pentacles or this bear energy is very protective. It's very, I almost get a feeling like the bear is watching over. It's almost like a bear spirit watching over this person that is going through this transformation that is happening from their heart space as they connect to the sun and they connect to the land. And the bear is watching over, and this Queen of Pentacles energy, again, the sacred feminine, the Queen of Pentacles would be very much like a Mother Earth card, very much like a very practical, pragmatic, grounded, nourishing and nurturing female presence that is also incredibly protective. So I think in regards to what you might want to work on over the next 2 weeks or to look at, is to look at what is moving in your life and changing. And what is it changing into for the better and for the positive? This feels like a very positive 2 weeks if you are willing to let this work happen. I think there's this, I get a sense of trusting the process, of trusting spirit and the universe, opening yourself up, much like the figure in the card is doing. And of course, getting outside and getting sun on you and letting that sun, as we move, this will be a full moon just prior to the summer solstice. So that's also something to think about as we get into this summer energy and this intense yang, sun, fire, passion, life, abundant nature energy. So the overall message too is if you are working on a magical project, look to see how that magical project can help you shift from one form into another and leave the old behind. Let it go. Let it be. Let the past be nourishing and fertilizer for the future. Again, I think the full moon is going to be a powerful one in June. And this could be considered, I don't find this card scary at all. Some people do, because it can be, it's nature, it's life, it's a cycle of life. And this is about, the journey of moving from one phase of life into another, fully supported by the sun and its energy. There we go, get a focus going. And you're being watched, you're being looked over and watched over and protected during this time period. If you want to tap into this energy, if you want to make this transition and make this work, there is a ton of energy available for you to tap into, and you're going to be protected while you do so. Okay? It is a time to move into a new transition or transition into a new phase of life. And to set those intentions really now and let that energy build as the moon waxes forward into the full moon on June 11th. And then let the shift happen. It almost feels like this person is rising up and moving. And the sun energy is like soaking into the figure, and they are lifting up. And it feels like a transition and a shift. So try to focus your practices on that feeling, whether that be yoga, meditation, ceremonial magic, shamanism, druidism, any of Wicca, any of these conversations, interactions you have with spirit and your higher self or your inner self or that central part of yourself. Take the time to think about what and how you want to transition into and what the current of life is helping you transition to. What journey do you want to be ready for on the full moon? Okay. I'm not seeing anything. Let me look. Again, I want to stress there is a protection energy. There's a grounded earth energy that is available as protection and being watched over and being communicated with. So don't be afraid of that. Don't shy into that. This might be someone who is transitioning into working as a channeler, working as a medium, being able to hear this spiritual energy and letting the past fears of that and the old life before you didn't talk to spirit, letting that go. Yeah. I'm also being told that this is a lead up to the summer solstice as well. We had this with the winter solstice. Like 2 moon phases before, there was a feeling of this is all preparatory for the main event. And I'm feeling that again with this reading and what is coming through about the general energies and the magical weather for the next 2 weeks. Okay. I was going to draw from the Angels and Ancestors deck, but I am instead being urged to draw from my old friends, the Fairy Oracle, written by my wonderful fairy mom, Jessica Macbeth, and written by Jessica Macbeth, and the artwork is by Brian Froud of Labyrinth and Faeries fame. I think you guys will like these cards. I'm not sure. I think I've used them once or twice before, but these are old friends of mine. And they want to add to this conversation. So we're going to let them. And that one right there. So this is our punctuation card. And the fairy that wants to punctuate all the things. Hold on, let me make sure the deck isn't upside down. That's funny. It was upside down. So we're going to switch this around. This goes back to fear. This is Jihabia. Jihabia can look like a very scary card. So it underscores the journey card. But Jihabia is about unrealistic fear. It's about paying too much attention to fear and letting things get the jump on you. It's about understanding that sometimes this stuff is scary, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's like a roller coaster ride. Once yes, roller coaster accidents happen, but once, that's the fun of a roller coaster ride, is that it's scary, but you might get shaken around a bit, but nobody gets hurt. And that is the same vibe here. This might appear as something very scary. Death can be scary. This is a serious transition point. I want to stress that. This isn't, but it is supported and you are protected, right? Like I talked about. So jump on the roller coaster. It's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. That's what Jihabi is here to tell you. And he's going to jump out at you over the next 2 weeks from time to time and to see if he can scare you. And know that this is all part of the journey. This is all part of the ride. So the next 2 weeks look to be, I'm not going to say they're going to be intense, but the next 2 weeks do look to be a fun-filled amusement park of transition but transition to a much stronger energy, a stronger self, a stronger sense of self, a stronger connection to your spirit and your inner child and the your inner worlds that then can manifest out into the physical. For those of you that haven't done a lot of shadow work, this could be kind of walking on the edges of that a little bit, so it might appear to be a little concerning. But trust me on this, these two cards that flank this, there is nothing to be scared about here. So if there is something scary or a step that you are scared to take, don't be. Check in with yourself, check in with your guides, check in with your internal heart and your sacred space. And you'll be able to see that none of this is scary. Okay. Yeah, and see how this can fit into your different practices. Please mention them down below in the comments. Interact with this reading. I would love to hear how or things you might do that would pull on this energy that's going to be overarching us for the next 2 weeks. Maybe have a conversation with Jihabia. Ask him not to be so scary and ask him to, or if he does scare you, make it a comedic scare, if nothing else. I don't know. There's lots of different ways where you can take this energy and work with it. But the number one thing to remember is that it is going to be a powerful 2 weeks. Very powerful, very light-filled, very on an inner level. We're not talking about on the outside world. We're talking there's a chance here for a lot of transition and a lot of change into a different way of being. Okay? That can be scary. Okay, I'm now repeating myself, so I'm going to wrap that up here. If you like this video, if you like this reading, please give me a thumbs up, share the video. It helps the channel immensely as we try to grow. Leave a comment down in the comment section. If you have any questions or you see something or something pops for you that you think others may need to hear, please, that's what that comment section is for. And let me know how you might be using this energy to interact with your personal practice if you feel like sharing. If not, no big deal. All right. That's the moon phase reading for May 26th to our full moon on June 11th. Here we go. Time to ride the ride. I will see you again on tomorrow's, daily reading. And yeah, peace and strength, everyone. And I may do an addendum to this. I'm feeling like I may do an addendum to this in the next week or so. We'll see how I feel as more information kind of comes in. Let me get a couple nights sleep under me and see what pops up in a dream or on a spiritual trip. Okay, everybody. Peace and strength. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I'll see you tomorrow on the daily reading. Bye-bye.